Ladies and gentlemen, worldwide, let it be known, this took way too long to make happen.
Okay.
Just, people just get super busy. They get, superstar status and want to go do things and they just forget about the little people. But, I had to track a motherfucker down, trick him to get here. He tried to leave a couple times. He's actually
tricked me with some food.
He's actually shackled to the table. But we're going to go ahead and get this started officially. What up, world? It's your man, Shadow. We are here on Hype Radio. Tonight's show, as you already know, every Friday night at 9 o'clock, is the Spotlight. What we do here on this show is we put the spotlight on the cats who deserve the light, who ain't getting it the way they need to get it. So tonight, I have internationally known, nationally known, superstar extraordinary motherfucking just all around hero to most. God, what else?
Give me the Apollo Creed entrance, bro.
Yeah, like what we have tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the eighth wonder of the world, Mr. JR, aka Kratos. What's up with you, bro?
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, man. Thank you for finally getting me on it. Look at it, got me looking like a little kid.
Well, that's because you wanted to see. Big motherfucker, stand up. Yep, that's it.
Man, bro, that's messing up my rep. Got me sitting there. God damn.
Should I get some phone books for you to sit?
Nah, you're all right, bro. You ain't gotta say that.
I'm just saying. Wait, hold on. Look. There you go.
There you go.
That feeling better?
Yeah.
There you go.
Damn,
little people standing in my shadow. You know how it is. Hey, man, look. It's about goddamn time you got here, bro.
Yes, sir.
You were around when I was thinking of this. You helped.
I remember when we walked in this place, man.
Man. You've been here since the beginning, but at the same time, I was there at the beginning of all of this. So, for those of you who don't know, we're gonna start at the beginning and give you an education on exactly who this is. Now, Mr. JR, aka Kratos, where you from, bruh?
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area in San Francisco, California.
I ain't sitting low like this no more. I'm sorry. Got my legs cramping up.
Me too, man. Shit. So yeah, I grew up in San Francisco, California. Grew up in Hunters Point, so the suburbs.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, stayed out there and then came out here. I think sophomore year in high school, and came to SAC and been out here ever since. And in a nutshell, yeah, bro.
Okay. Now, those of you who know JR. What do you want me to call you? JR, you want me to call you Kratos?
Whatever, man.
Call this motherfucker.
Kratos.
Call this motherfucker to my left. We go Kratos this shit on now. So Kratos over here to the left, he's missing out on a big part of this journey that he was in Hunters Point to SAC. You wanted to become a wrestler early on.
I did.
Why?
Why?
Like you
man, how many times I get that from everybody?
Bro, first of all, growing up Hunters Point, that ain't no easy job.
Yeah, no.
And then to do something out of the ordinary, because that's not a normal dream that normal cats would have to go, I want to semi-pro wrestle. So let's go back to Hunters Point, and we gonna get this whole story. We gonna be here all night.
Let's do it, man.
So we in Hunters Point. As a child, you coming up in the Bay, what happened to where you had to get to the point where you wanted to become a wrestler?
So what had happened was my grandmother. My grandmother actually was head of security at the arena out in San Francisco called the Cow Palace, and when I was little, I used to go to every event she would take me to, and I never missed the wrestling, man. I always went to the shows out there, and then as I got older, my pops actually got on the security crew.
Shout out to Pops.
So I was there all the time, like I said, and then the wrestling, I was there, and then one night, obviously the WWE now was the WWF, came to the Cow Palace, and my dad actually was walking me into the arena, and we got to the front row, and it was a match that I'll never forget. It was Papa Shango and the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior came running by me, actually stood in the corner right in front of me and did his thing. And then I remember vividly just looking at my pops and was like, I want to do this, so this is what I want to do. And he was like, all right. He never once looked at me sideways, never once was like, nah, you know, shit like that. I mean, he just was supportive since the beginning. So that's kind of like where it first started for me, and then, you know, it just kind of took off from there.
Okay, because I'm still waiting for the day to see this picture of you in Andre the Giant's hand, bro.
Yeah, see, that was really cool too, man. I wish I had more pictures, man, but like I said, you know, it was what it was, because I was always backstage, man. It was just being around the wrestlers, I mean, that was just what it was. You know, my dad was security, and my grandma ran it, so it was like I was just already one of the boys, you know what I mean? So it was really cool, man. Now that I look back and I'm in the business now, it's like, man, that was just such a really cool time as a kid to get introduced to all that and watch these guys walking around and just being part of it, you know, and just seeing Ultimate Warrior, seeing Andre the Giant, seeing Macho Man, seeing Elizabeth when I was a little kid with the hormones running through like crazy.
Elizabeth, ooh, those of you know, Elizabeth, bad, bruh.
And just, you know, just being around it, it was really cool. So I'm just very fortunate. That's how it kind of started for me.
Now, being that close and having the VIP to walk around like you own the palace, who was your favorite wrestler at that time? At
that time, man, it was Warrior for me.
Okay.
I know it was between, you know, Hulk Hogan and the Warrior, but for me, I gravitated towards him, man. Just the energy, his intensity, everything about him was just. I fell in love with him, dude. He was dope. And obviously I loved Hogan too, but just the Warrior, I was able to gravitate towards him more. Like I said, the intensity, the colors, the energy, the way the crowd reacted to him. It was just like, damn, I want that to be me, you know?
Okay, so we go fast forward because now we in SEC. You came in SEC, you said 10th grade?
Yep.
What was that like? Because Hunters Point to Elk Grove, bruh, that's a
culture shock.
Nice
for sure.
Motherfucking day.
Yeah, it was a culture shock, man, for me. I didn't like it at first, but it was for the best for me. And like I said, man, it's a culture shock for sure. You know, you come from, you know, that kind of culture where you grow up in that kind of hood. You know, you got to do the things you got to do, and then come out here where it's 2 lanes and cows, and you know, it was different. But like I said, it was probably the best move my mom could have did for me, and it grew on me, man. You know, like I said, I didn't like it at first, but you know, started to see the opportunities here.
You had to like it a little bit because the pressure of being in Hunters Point, and I'm gonna bust you out here. I told you told you it's gonna be fun. You know, being back in Hunters Point, and you know,
being white, bruh.
I'm just saying, and getting your shoes took.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Yeah.
I told you we was putting it all out there. Go ahead and tell the story about how you got your shoes took.
Man, I don't remember that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you know, just for the people watching, Hunters Point is not the best of neighborhoods.
It is not a vacation spot.
So when I was young, yeah, I had some pretty nice shoes, and then you know, just got held up at gunpoint, and
I am crying.
Had to walk home in my socks. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. That shit won't happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, it's just one of those things where it's, you know,
anybody can get it.
Yeah,
anybody
man, it was a lot. It was rough back then, and you had to hold your ground and prove who you are, and you know, and you had to do what you had to do. But at that point, you know, I got my shoes took. They took my chain too. And I'm glad that's where it was enough right there, because damn, bro, I probably could have been walking home in my drawers.
Man, that was
But
great.
yeah.
Now,
Thanks
with
for
that
bringing
mention, that's what we do in here, the spotlight, bro. So, coming from that to Elk Grove in the culture shock, how did you get along with some of the cats at the school, bro? Because, I mean, you weren't always this big.
No.
So, I'm sure somebody tried it. Some big corn-fed motherfucker tried to test you.
Actually, no.
Okay.
It was actually really cool. I linked in with some. Obviously, I started playing football. I started getting involved in the sports and just hanging around, just hanging around the right guys. It was different, obviously, but that I didn't have too much issues coming out here. So I guess that was the benefit, a big benefit for me. But yeah, like I said, I hung around the right people, got around the right heads on, you know what I mean? They had their heads on the right, and just they were all goal orientated, and it worked out for me, man. It was very different, but like I said, I keep saying it was the best move for me. So
okay, so now we didn't hit high school, we played football. What troubles did we get into in high school, bro? Because I know I got in a couple things. So I'm assuming you got in a couple things.
I did. I could probably just say for me, man, I always had that hard-nosed mentality, so I got into a lot of fights. Basic shit like that. I never really started anything like other than that, but I did get into a lot of fights, had the mentality, just take no shit, you know what I mean? But like I said, it wasn't too bad, man. It was what it was.
Okay, so we still in Sacramento, we graduate. What was in your sights after high school?
Well, for me, I had my first daughter, at a real young age. I had her basically straight out of high school. So for me at that point, it was just to provide, man, and take care of her. And so for me at the time, shit, dude, I was working at 3 jobs at one point, man, working nights, days, and just trying to make it work. And then, I always joke and tell her and tell other people that, it's like, I didn't really, obviously it was a young age, so I didn't really know her or know how to be an adult, right? I was 18 years old, so I always say that, we raised each other kind of thing, But
I think she did a good job.
Shit, yeah. But yeah, for me at that time, man, obviously, I had dreams and things that I wanted to accomplish, but what was more important was to be able to provide and to raise her and get all my ducks in a row and do things like that. And just time kind of got away from me a little bit for that. I don't regret anything, but at that time, yeah, it was just to provide and take care of her.
Okay, now we're gonna cut into that. So when you see these cats, because I know you, when you see these cats who like not handling their responsibilities, we all know a couple of them.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel knowing what they're doing and what you had to go through? Does that kind of like get to you sometimes?
I wouldn't say, obviously, yeah, you have an opinion about it, right?
Right.
But like, me, bro, so you kind of view it as give them the benefit of the doubt, despite what you see and what you know, or I should say, despite what you see, because you don't know. So you got to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, like, what's their situation and things like that. Obviously, you can have an opinion about, damn, bro, you got to get on your shit, you got to handle your shit. But everybody's journey is different, man. So it's, I guess where I'm at right now, I could sit here and say that would be my outlook. Like, if I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with them, like, what's, or give them any kind of advice, would be like, what's going on? Let's get shit straight, because, you got mouths to feed, man. You got kids, and you got seeds out there that really rely on you,
Okay.
So
Well, once again, I'm going to keep saying this all through this. Seeing how I know you, if there was a young cat coming out of school in your situation, what would be something you would tell him on how to proceed in that life? Yeah, man, it's gonna be like this all night long. Should have brought your ass here earlier.
I would honestly tell them, despite what you see and what's pushed and what's the narrative that media pushes or anything like that. My advice would be to anyone is to chase your purpose. Don't chase a bag. You know what I mean? And I'll say it again. Chase purpose. Don't chase the bag, because man, I think for me, speaking from experience and coming from the trenches and coming from where I came from and had to overcome everything I had to overcome, I think when you chase purpose, when you chase what you really want to, when you really start to learn yourself and put everything in motion, because obviously when you are passionate about something and it is your driven force in you and it is your purpose, obviously financial stability is going to come at some point. But I think when you chase a purpose, man, when you chase what you really want and who you really are, there's so many levels of characteristics that are built inside you, man, that make you more of a valuable person to whatever your passion is, rather than just chasing the money, the quick dollar, the quick, and I can go on about this all night. It's kind of like, what I tell my boy, or, I tell kids, it's, when it's related to sports, the better the man, the better the football player. The better the man, the better the baseball player. Because it's not only about the sport, it's what you bring to the table. It's what characteristics can you provide to be better at this sport, and or whatever it is, whatever you chase. So I think there's so much value in chasing purpose, because once you do that, there's so much more substance to you, man. You're not just money driven. It's deeper than that. And so yeah, in a nutshell, I guess I would tell them that, chase purpose, not a bag.
It's not bad advice. Not bad advice at all. Okay, so we raising the little princess.
Yeah.
Shout out Adi, lay you to death now. You go on time. Now, you're at the point where you're making your own decisions. You had to grow up quick as fuck. Let's go ahead and jump right back into it. You have an opportunity somewhere. How'd you even get involved into the wrestling thing? I know it kicked back all the way from the Palace and walking around the VIP, but what was that moment that you said, I'm really going to pursue this?
I remember it vividly, man. I was working a night shift as a security guard at a rock building supply place. And I was sitting in a shack, and it was like, obviously night shift. And I was just like, man, this shit is getting old. It's getting old, man. As bouncing and just doing all that shit, man. Your wick, you start to have no more wick, so it's just they light it and just boom. Yeah, so just realizing that I've been doing this for a while, meaning the security shit, and we're still struggling. We're still, what am I doing with my life? I kind of just had like a coming to Jesus moment, like, what am I doing? And then I just thought back, I always was involved in sports. I always was an athlete, but I loved to entertain, man. I loved that thrill. And I was like, man, why don't I just pursue wrestling? You know what I mean? Like, it has everything that would feed me internally to do it. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I just made a decision, and I looked up wrestling schools, and I started looking up a few wrestling schools, and I was like, shit, man, how am I gonna come up with this money, and blah, 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 blah. So I robbed an old lady. No, I was like, scratch.
Wow. The views shared by
yeah. I just saved my money and I went to a school out here in Sacramento called Supreme Pro Wrestling. And I trained for about a year, close to a year and a half. But go back to when you asked me earlier, like why? It's funny because now that I reflect back, when I started training, I almost literally broke every bone in my body during training. Like, first it was my arm, then it was my leg, then it was my knee, then it was my back, then it was my elbows, and everyone was like, dude, like, you know, just supportive, but in a way kind of like,
why?
Yeah, why? Like, is this, you can't see the signs, bro? Like, you know, like, you're breaking everything, you know, and I just, I had a vision, man, and I had something that I wanted to accomplish, and I just stuck to it. And, you know, big shout out to the foundation that started me with Supreme Pro Wrestling here in Sacramento. It's SPW, and they took care of me, man. They were always in my ear, like, look, this is what we got to do. This is what you got to do. And they were just extremely supportive and putting me in the right positions to, you know, to progress and do those things and train me properly and put me in the ring with the right people and this and that. And I finally debuted January 8th, 2012. And, you know, to say it's been easy is obviously a lie. But
I've seen some of that shit.
But you know, it was truly, honestly, the best decision I've ever made, man. Like, hands down, it's the best I could have ever done.
So it's kind of like that thing, if you truly enjoy it, you'll never work a day in your life kind of situation?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Supreme Pro Wrestling and Unlock the Cage and let you out. Now, with the training, let's go ahead and get into some of that. Because I'm going to take it there. I'm going to take it there. You go through all this training to learn how to fall, how to do certain moves, how to entertain.
Yeah.
With all the flipping and landing on your back and having, because you got to make sure you tuck your chin and all that shit. What happens when somebody who finds out that you wrestle? Oh, that shit's fake.
Oh, they getting fucked up, man.
I remember it was one guy who told you, oh, that's fake. He was like, all right, well, give me 20 seconds in the ring.
That's it. That's my response every time. Like, you know, to pull the curtain back and speak on it as it is that. Obviously, there's things to it that are predetermined, right? But there's nothing fake about it, man. You know, we're in there sacrificing our bodies to entertain the audience. So there's really no fake way about it.
Now, what I don't know is, excuse me, out of all the years, and out of the handful of people who actually had the courage to tell you say it was fake, has anybody ever said, fine, let's go get in the ring?
Hell no. No. I want to say Google and look it up, and they're like, nah, bro. Like, hey, we support you now. You know, buy a ticket. Yeah, cool. Buy this T-shirt too, man.
I remember, I think it was Fresno. We went to Fresno to see you wrestle. We went to go see, it was me. Let me go ahead and get correct. It was D, Josh, and I.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to them too, man. I love you guys, bro.
We drove, got in the car, smashed down to this warehouse that was
hot as hell.
Hot as hell. It wasn't the biggest, like it was the ring, and you had like 6 bleachers up in seats, and it was a second floor. Now,
8 people in the audience.
Yeah, but you know it filled up later on because you were the headliner on this shit, and we were sitting there. And I was like, dude, he's always talking about this wrestling shit. And, man, I'm finally glad I get to see this because I keep hearing we had a little gig we was doing.
Yeah.
Shout out Regional Transit.
Yeah, right. Security.
But you know, I always heard the stories because we was partners and you know we talked a lot. So I finally said, fuck it, I'm gonna go. We drove all the way down there. Now this fool just in the ring with a dude who wasn't really cooperating.
Yeah.
And he hit JR in a way that when I saw him like, get hit, I was like, oh shit. And we all sat in the bleachers, we looked at each other, we was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. Next thing we know, a tooth was flying through the air. We were like, did he just knock this man's tooth out his mouth? Oh. Then you ran out the ring, ran up to the second floor, and we were like, where the hell is he at? And all of a sudden you came flying out of the second floor to land in the ring on this dude. I was like, okay, it's official. He crazy in the motherfucker.
Yeah,
Everybody was screaming, yelling. It was the best thing ever. Ding, ding, ding. Of course, you won. And I was just like, is something wrong with this cat? What made you? Well, one, you want to get into the two flying.
But it's, you know, it just is what it is, man. Sometimes you gotta establish things, and that was one of them.
You knocked old boy's tooth out, bro.
That was, yeah, it happened.
We would have problems. Damn this ring, bro, in the alley.
That's kind of where my head went.
Now, well, obviously you went upstairs.
Yeah.
That wasn't rehearsed. That was spur of the moment type shit to you.
Yeah.
What made you think going upstairs and jumping off the balcony into this little ass ring?
Where I'm at now in my career, it's just stupidity, man. You know, just being dumb, young, mentally in the business, just trying to get a reaction by doing something stupid. But
you got the reaction, but your
yeah.
ass. That next day we worked.
Oh God, yeah, I'm not moving.
Oh.
Just you know, it's, you get in there, man, and you know, you feel the energy from the crowd, and it's, you know, you're young, and it's the thrill of entertainment. It just, for me, it just, at that time, trying to learn about the business and learning how to control an audience and learning how to control yourself in the moments. And for me, yeah, it was just young. I mean, I don't regret it.
I think you got the belt that night too.
Yeah, it was one of those things now where I look back and it was just like, holy shit. But you know, it's just a thrill of entertainment, man. It takes over. You know, adrenaline, and like I said, getting the energy from the crowd, it just takes over. And when you're young-minded in the business, you do stupid shit. So that was one of them.
Okay. Now, the crowd, because I've watched your following build. You had a couple cats in the crowd that knew and loved you, like they grew up with you, like they helped you move from Hunters Point out here. And I was like, this is kind of cool to see. Like, I finally get the whole picture. I always had the stories from the patrol, but seeing you in action and watching little kids walk up to you,
That's cool, man.
and their eyes get hella big, and you stop and talk to everybody. We were waiting for you to get over there so we could talk to you. And it took 45 minutes for you to get over to us. How important is it for you to interact with those fans?
Very. It's very important to me. I always go back to, it was actually you and I. You took me to a E40 signing.
Mm-hmm.
And
that day E40 cussed me out?
yeah.
For doing the right damn thing. It was 300 people out there, and we decided, we ain't working for them. We slid off the patrol, and we shot up there, and we walked in. I was like, man, that's a big ass line. And we stood there in the line.
Yeah.
40 stood up, shut up.
I remember that.
I'm like, damn, what you yelling my name like that for? I know who you are, but damn, get over here. Brought me over to him, hugged me, and talked to me like I was young. Don't you ever sit in the line and wait to come say hello to me. I was like, I was just being courteous to the 400,000 people outside. He was like, you family. I said, well, that being said, let me introduce you to my brother.
Yeah.
40 actually became one of your fans, bruh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was really grateful for that, man. He's supportive on social media, followed me, which I kind of had a little fangirl moment.
Yeah, I remember you like, dude, Before he followed me. Cool.
So shout out to that. Thank you for doing that, man. I appreciate that. But I always go back to that. And it was just one of those moments that solidified me as an entertainer. Obviously, it's two different things, but it's all entertainment. And it's all interactions with your fans, man. And I remember that night. We got there, and I think he only had like maybe an hour and a half left, and there were a shitload of people outside. And I remember the Dimple Records manager coming and telling him, hey man, we only got this limited amount of time and blah, blah, blah. And leaving some things out. 40 made it very, very stern, and he wasn't leaving until he signed everybody and met everybody in the line.
Yep.
And I just think of that sometimes when it's, you know, that's one of the things that stick out in my head is just that he took the time, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and to me, that really establishes who he is as a person, why he's so relevant and such a major pillar in the hip hop, and just who he is in general, regardless of, you know, he takes the time to do those things when honestly, he ain't got to do that shit,
Not
bro.
at all.
You know what I mean? But those people were standing, I think it was raining that night too, bro.
Yeah.
And those people were out there in the rain, and he didn't leave until the last person was signed and took a picture with him. And I just really admired that. And so for me, getting back to that is you'll just never know what you can do for someone. You know, if you're in any kind of position, for someone to look at you in a higher aspect is like, you know, entertainment, or, you know, you're there, the reason why they bought a ticket. And it's your duty, bruh. It is your duty to, for me, I believe, it is your absolute duty to just give them that moment. You know, they hard-earned money, they paid, they come to see you, they're buying your t-shirt, whatever the case, they're in your line, give them that moment, you know what I mean? And I feel that's huge. Because let me bring up a story, man. My dad was the personal security guard for Barry Bonds when I was a kid. And so we used to go to all the Giants games, all the A's games, all the games. And Ricky Henderson was I was a huge fan of Ricky Henderson when I was a kid. And I remember my dad, obviously, because of who he was, we were able to come in before the stadium opened, and they were doing batting practice. And we're walking up to Ricky Henderson, bro. And I'm in full A's gear, like, you know, the A's jersey, the hat, and I had my glove, and my dad's walking me straight up to Ricky Henderson. I'm like, fuck, oh my God, I'm freaking out, right? I get up to Ricky, I'm like, hey, you know, hi. And my dad's like, hey, you know, Ricky, this is my son. And I was like, true story, bro. I was like, hey.
Ricky Henderson, pay attention, it's about you, bro.
Yeah. Full circle, but anyway, I'm jumping ahead. I'm a kid walking up, I'm like 9, 10, walking up to Ricky Henderson, and I say, hey, Ricky, I was like, you know, can you sign my glove for me? So he looks at me, bro. Wasn't a line, wasn't a merch line, wasn't nobody in the stadium, just teammates are just hitting before the doors open, you know, whatever. And he looks at me, and he looks at my dad, and he was like, hey, you got $50? My dad grabbed me, spit at Ricky Henderson, and we walked away. And as a kid, not knowing, I'm thinking my dad's just cheap as hell, don't want to pay $50. I'm like, looking at my dad, I'm like, what the hell, bro? Why didn't you pay $50? I could have had Ricky Henderson sign my glove. And he's like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You'll understand when you get older. We're not giving that man shit. And blah, blah, blah. Pissed at the moment as a kid, but now I look back like, bruh. So funny. We kids, we go to a River Cats game. And I didn't say anything, man, but it was when Ricky was, I don't know what he was, a coach for River Cats or whatever. But it was funny, man, because they actually compensated us and gave us really good seats. So I'm sitting like next to the dugout, and I could see, and I'm like, dude, is that Ricky Henderson?
Oh, no.
Comes up the stairs, and I could see it, and then people start chanting Ricky, and I didn't even know he was a coach for the River Cats at the time. And it says Henderson in the back, and he stood at third base. And I remember, I was like, well, obviously he ain't gonna remember me, but I was like, I took a picture and sent it to my dad. I was like, damn, what a full circle, man. My dad was like, say something. I'm like, nah.
Your dad was probably gonna smack him.
But that's just, it just goes back to it, man. It's just guys and their egos, man. It's crazy.
Okay. Wow. I hadn't heard that story.
Yeah, bro. That was wild.
That's crazy. Well, Ricky.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with what's being said,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and reach out to Kratos himself. He'll
Yeah.
be more than happy to have this conversation with you.
Yeah,
By the way, have $50 in your pocket.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you started out with the SPW. I remember I came there and video recorded one time. That's the one that I think it was a church or
Yeah, it was the hall in the back. Yep.
man, them cats was making pack of hot dogs and some chips and some Shasta sodas and was getting it on. But
Yeah, we used to pack the shit out of that.
bruh, that place was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember the match you had with it was you two were the powerhouses of the wrestling.
Probably Brian Tannen.
Yes,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
That was a real match. That was
Yeah.
y'all had real issues with each other. Like it was crazy because it was built up around you guys to just clash everywhere. Like you guys did everything. I remember the day we went to strikes.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
You had you guys met up in strikes and had issues. Now see this, where we work for regional translators, everybody was always asking us, if you two got into it, who do you think would win? Well, he's always been this big now, and I was who I was, so we
So
never.
it's me.
Okay, well let me go ahead and explain that now. Big dude, everybody here knows I ain't back down from nobody in the second round. I'm Mayweather in this motherfucker. And I was like, you? What you mean you? I'm gonna win. And he was like, how you feel you'll win? Because I'm not gonna fight you fair.
Yeah, right.
You can't fight somebody fair who literally, for his trying to further himself in the entertainment industry, gets hit all the time. You can't do nothing to a dude who gets hit with chairs and people jumping him. I told him, I said, bro, I'm just gonna shoot you.
Right.
I love you to death. Die for you. Ride, die for you. But we get into it. Hot ones.
Got 17 of them for you.
Bruh, I'm standing over you turning your lights off. Like, it's crazy. But, it was always good because we wasn't the best job, but we had
we had fun,
so
man.
much fun doing that
We
bullshit.
had fun.
Now, going forward, you getting your name. You and Brian, that was major. The day y'all went into strikes and tore up that
I
restaurant,
forgot about that, man.
I did not, because that's when I knew these motherfuckers is hitting for real. Brian picked up that hard plastic waitress tray
Mhm.
and hit you in the back of your head with it. And I heard that noise and I was like, oh my God. And
Damn, I
kept,
actually forgot, yeah.
you kept pushing. Picked
Yeah.
him up over your head, put him on the bar, slid him down, the whole shebang. It was
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
great.
wild. Yeah.
It was great how y'all worked that out. When it was all said and done, we were leaving. Come here, man. Come here. How's the back of your head? You looked me in my eye like, this shit hurt like
Yeah,
hell.
bro.
Help me. You went to Brian and said, dude, why'd you hit me so hard?
Don't ever do that
Like,
again.
don't do that again. Bro, that's when I knew you was like really into this shit because the tray didn't break at all. But he folded you with that motherfucker.
Yeah, he swung that shit like Barry Bonds.
Bruh. I was like, God damn. But from that, when you guys had your battle in the wrestling federation you were in, you and him got called to go to like the training camp, I think it was at the time.
Yeah, so we had a tryout for the WWE. Obviously, I was told not a no, but not a yes. And actually, he got it. He went, and they gave him an opportunity, and he went to WWE for, which is NXT. And I think he was there. He was there for a few years, so he lived his dream, man. And I remember the day he got the call. He called me, freaking out, super excited, and obviously I was super pumped for him. And we had our last match. And in wrestling, it's a huge honor, man, to obviously pick who you are going to have your last match with. It's a huge thing, and I was that for him, and so we had a really good relationship. And you know, he was off to take on the world, man, and he did really well. And he's not there anymore, but you know, just life changed for him, man. He's doing his comedian thing now. He's a comic, so he's doing that, and he's doing real well. And yeah, he's just chasing that dream now. And
I didn't know he was doing comedy.
yeah, he's actually went to see him do what is that called right now? It's not when it's made up on stage. What is that?
Improv?
Improv, yeah. He did a little improv with this group, and dude, he actually was really, really good. So
Can't imagine Brian doing comedy.
he's a big ass boy up there.
Like,
But-
it's not gonna be a heckler in the crowd.
Yeah, right.
You suck.
Yeah.
You are broken.
But he's doing good, man. You know, he's chasing that now, and
That's what's up.
it's doing really well for him. And I think he's opening up for some big headliners now and doing his own thing. So shout out to
interview.
him.
Brian, come sit down with me one time.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when you got back from the training camp, and you told me the air squats,
Oh my God.
bruh, please enlighten the world how they did you so dirty.
Oh man, it's just well, the training camp there is obviously, you know, it's the big time, bro. So they I think the purpose of that, now that I, you know, obviously again more educated in the business, was to just see where you're at mentally. You know, see if you really, how bad you want it. So they break you literally down. And yeah, man, it
You
was
couldn't walk for a week.
it was insane, man. You know, doing hundreds of squats, hundreds of running the ropes, the drills, you know, it definitely was to a point to where it tests you mentally. You know, the physical part is gone now. You're just so whooped, and the mental part kicked in. And I think that was their thing, you know, just to kind of wean out the weakest links, you know. And I wasn't a weakest link, but you know, damn, dude, I remember just all when it was said and done, yeah.
I think they had you, what, do 1,000 squats or something?
It was crazy, man.
And what was so
Hundreds.
cold is what they did to you was, because they thought you, and I guess everybody had quit before, they had set up the camera phone off to the side to make sure you did all 1,000 squats.
Yeah.
And they were telling you, no, lower. And you hit that mark every time.
Yeah.
To mentally do that, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was weird, man, because as, like I said, it was a drill, and as the squats, you know, became into the hundreds, obviously people started quitting. So what they would do was they would literally put one person that would assign to the last few, and you would sit there and make sure you squatted all the way down. And yeah, man, it was wild, bruh.
When you got back there, it was like you still couldn't feel your legs.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
That's crazy. Okay, so we've done that. Time 4. You have got a big name about yourself to the point you are actually meeting superstars that you probably saw as a young child in the palace. One of them, Sergeant
Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter. You've always like treasured that moment. What was it like to now be in that same arena, which with a great like he was, to sit there and talk to him and have him give you his wisdom? And what was that feeling like?
It's really cool, you know, when it first happens, you're just like, you're taken back by it, of course. But when you're actually in the same locker room as these guys, you know, getting ready and preparing yourself to go out into the arena, it's an amazing feeling, man, to finally be able to just, you're here, you know what I mean? We're at the table, man. We're sharing the same food. Like, you're able to actually pull your chair up and say, okay, I'm here, you know? It's humbling. I've always took it that way and will never not take it that way. But, you know, Sergeant Slaughter was one of the first big names that I was able to meet, again, young in the business. And it was a really cool moment for me just to say, or for myself to realize, like, damn, I'm on the right track. You know what I mean? I'm actually putting in the footprints to make this thing work. And now what it's done for me now, and the people that I've met and the friendships that I've made through this business, man, I'm forever grateful. I'm friends with people that I truly, truly admire, truly are just outstanding human beings outside the ropes, and just people that actually have really given me jewels to the game, not only in wrestling but into life. And it's created relationships that I'm just beyond grateful for, man.
Now, the stories that you have shared with me during our time doing the real 9 to 5 shit,
Right.
it was always amazing to me. But still, I've always been, when I would go to the matches, I was always just amazed on how you treated the kids. The adults you were cool with. You signed, you shook hands, you appreciated. But the kids, you like really took your time and really was like invested in them to make sure that they had the greatest experience ever. Now, through you climbing up the ranks and becoming the best, and people were inviting you to come be in their federation and their wrestling clubs and things of that nature, we came across a real issue where someone, I forgot how you got, it was even put on your plate. I remember one day you were telling me you met this kid who had been fighting cancer for all his existence. Hurt to walk, could move on some days. Like, you really took that to heart, and you really made a lot of things happen. Like, you connected with what was that news? Good Day.
Good Day.
Good
Fox
Day.
40 News.
Good Day, Fox 40.
No, it was Fox 40. Gary, shit, man, I forgot his last name, but yeah, it was Fox 40.
Okay. You literally took it to heart to where you had to go on live and shine the spotlight, we'll say, on this young gentleman, this young miracle, this angel that literally God put in front of you and said, do something about it. What's crazy is he gonna get
How
his
life works out.
He gonna get the fuck up. What's crazy is I got to meet him, and it was literally after a session through the chemotherapy, and a couple days later he showed up. We went to the whole security team. We go to Leatherby's, and we having ice cream.
Yeah,
we having ice cream with this kid, and we're like still just in awe. Like, we fight every day.
Yeah.
We fight some of the craziest, some of the baddest. We fight literally every day, and we were just in awe of this young man who was fighting the battle he was fighting. You want to give us a little bit about what made you do that?
Sure, without crying.
Yeah, please don't cry.
Uh,
Because you start crying, I'm going to chop you.
Yeah, right?
You
Cut? It was just one of those things, man, that, going back to it, I knew his mom since high school, and I seen what they were going through on social media. She wasn't too big on posting things, but I would see things, and I remember, man, when I wanted to do something. I remember we were talking in the truck, and I was like, I don't know if I should do this, man, but something's telling me to reach out. You know, obviously I'm not on the level of WWE or anything like that, but you know, anything I wanted to help in some form, way, fashion, whatever I could do with the platform that I had at the time. Something was telling me to just do it. And I remember I hesitated for a while, bro, because I was like, damn, you know, I don't want it to seem, you know, any kind of way. I feel like I should just help in some way.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we talked about.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to seem like you were trying
to make myself or just
yeah.
put myself on, you know what I mean? I just figured like, damn, I think this would be really cool, because I knew he really liked wrestling. I knew the platform that I had, I was able to give him some kind of moment, you know?
Right.
And yeah, so it worked out. You know, I reached out, and we had a really good platform, man. Got on the news, came to the shows. Actually, I remember WWE was reaching out, and all the shops, all the stores were reaching out, sending stuff to give to him, and you know, I remember that, and it was cool. We got on Fox 40. He got on Fox 40, you know, and the kid we're talking about is now.
Here we go.
is now my son, obviously, and yeah, you know, Sasan is his name, and you know, his mom just couldn't stay away, bruh. No. You know what I'm saying? No.
Hey sis, I didn't tell him to do that. Sonny, come here, man. Come on, man. See that? Get your ass up, boy. Superstar ass. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that we are sitting with a real miracle,
Shit with me, man.
this is a real miracle. I remember seeing him as a little kid, weighing nothing, in pain. The things that he had to go through, and the things that his mother had to endure while he was going through these things. When I tell you that Kratos took that to heart and everything that he did was genuine, I mean that. He wanted to do nothing but make life a little bit better and easier for this young man here, who is now playing baseball at a great level. He has a tournament this weekend that's way out in the motherfucking woods.
Yeah, right.
You have to get your ass up before the sun get up to go to that game.
He does, bro.
But, you know, this young man is a real miracle. Now, I brought him on here because I'm an asshole. So we did the whole, what was it, the Wish Foundation?
Make-A-Wish,
The
yeah.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. They had planned some things for him, and they were giving him some gifts, and they gave him choices. So he had a choice to, on a vacation, I think it was Disney or something, or
we could have done anything. Tell him what you chose, bruh.
I ended up choosing shoes.
God.
The Make-A-Wish
My
Foundation
man.
was literally going to be like, you guys want to do a cruise? You want us to rent out a theme park for you?
Yeah.
Did you want a palace? Did you want England? Sonny's like, nah, I want some shoes. I want some Jordans.
Got him.
And got some Jordans. We set up at Top Golf, was like, he really just wanted some shoes?
That's it.
And he got them shoes, and you're like, it is what it is. Now, we were expecting a superstar to deliver these fucking shoes.
Right?
But he couldn't have the time, he didn't have the time to hold up his end of the bargain.
I don't know, I guess. It is what it is.
So
We got some dope shoes.
We did get some dope shoes. And he was, that was the first time I seen Sonny upset. Because he couldn't wear any of the shoes at the time. They gave them to him in sizes where he could grow into them. And Sonny was like, I don't care. I want to wear my shoes. You try to put them on in the golf course? Oh, it was crazy. But I would like to tell Mr. Michael Jordan, who did not show up as he was supposed to deliver these shoes to this angel that's sitting here, bruh, it's the little things you're supposed to do. I know that if this man was wrestling in Venus and it was somebody who wanted him to deliver some shoes, he's busting his ass to get there. So shout out to Michael Jordan, who is literally the greatest person to ever play the sport, changed the game by himself. Well, you was on some dick shit, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, there was some real dick shit you did. Sorry, it is what it is. But, you know, all that being said is, we still have Sonny here. We are grateful that he has been touched and healed in a way. I remember the day we found out that he was cancer-free. We were all at work, and we literally had to stop and pull over because we had to get out the car, we had to breathe, like, it was crazy. But, yeah. Okay, you can go sit down now. I love this dude to death. Sonny is the man. Now, something like that happens, and you took it on in a major way because Sonny became the son.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mom couldn't stay away. She had to get in the ring with Kratos.
Right.
Or get the ring with Kratos. To watch you grow, because we talked about everything. We were together 12 hours a day sometimes.
Yeah.
All we was do was just, this is what I want to do. What do you think about that? Well, how about this? And then we give each other opinions and do all that. I remember sitting up listening to the stories of how you wanted to do and where you wanted to go and how you wanted to proceed. And it always was around the entertainment value of the sport. It was always important for you to have the best look, have the best moves, make it the most exciting. To the point, you start taking up martial arts, which wasn't fair to everybody. It wasn't fair to everybody else. You started taking up jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Because in the wrestling, there's a lot of holes. And you wanted your holes to look real.
Yeah.
Some of the guys, like, damn, bro, like, that shit was crazy. Now, what made you, in all that we were doing, what made you say, how can I make this look better? And then to choose jiu-jitsu. And then to have everybody in jiu-jitsu be scared to fuck with you.
Well, for me, going back to it, right, as you grow older in this business of professional wrestling, my thing was to my whole thing is we're trying to convey realism, right? If I don't know what realism is, how am I going to be able to convey it?
Right.
So my thing was, let me take up some classes. Let me invest in my craft and invest in myself.
That's what I was looking for. I couldn't remember to say the word invest. My bad.
And then I just started doing that, man. I really fell in love with it, and been training ever since. And then, you know, it just kind of escalated from there for me. You know, I was like, okay, cool. What really got me into that was obviously, you know, to further my craft and to be able to convey realism and, you know, do that with the audience. And then for me too was when I got the opportunity to wrestle for Josh Barnett in Bloodsport. That was a huge turn for me. Shout out to him. Well, again, one of the greatest relationships that I've ever had the opportunity to have through this business. And now he is now a personal friend. He's just, again, one of those human beings where it's like, I'm grateful that I chose this because now I have a relationship with a human of that caliber and just of his jewels to the game, like I said, in wrestling and in life. And I'm extremely grateful for that relationship. Rewind back again, I really took it with more seriousness when I knew I was going to get that opportunity to wrestle for him in his promotion called Bloodsport. Again, it's a real fighting-based platform to where you have to have some kind of legitimacy about you, some kind of substance to where you look and you can really fuck some shit up. You know what I mean? That's what the whole thing is. It's not anyone walking that aisle that wrestles for Bloodsport. You do not want to meet in an alley, or you do not want to fuck with at a bar. You don't want to mess with them, because legitimately everyone knows that they could really whoop some ass. You know what I mean? So that's really where it enhanced me I just got extremely motivated about everything, man. Started taking up kickboxing, started doing the whole MMA, jiu-jitsu, judo, all this other shit, because I really wanted to excel in that platform. And obviously doing that would benefit me, inside the ring as well. So, but yeah, it all just goes back to just investing in myself and being able to convey realism, because the more again I studied myself and the more again I wanted to become a certain character with some substance to it, I needed people to know that, yeah, this dude could really whip somebody's ass. You know what I mean? So it like I said, you're trying to convey realism, but that realism is almost exuding off the camera, because this guy is the real deal, and he brings that substance to that character where it's like, yeah, that dude's extremely believable, because I know he can really beat the shit out of somebody. So for me, that's what it was for me. Just to be able to convey realism, I got to know what it's like to get punched in the face, pretty much is the way I looked at it.
Now, for me, seeing you go to those classes and take on everything the way you did, in my chapter of coming into your story, I can say that's when I thought you really took your craft to the next level, because you were really into it, and you would come to work and you were like, yeah, I did the match and I should have did this and I should have did that, and you would remember that, and then we go see it, and that's exactly what you were doing. All that would happen, and then, the demand for Kratos became tremendous at that point.
Mm-hmm.
In the intro, I introduced you as internationally known. I remember when you got the call to take the wrestling tour overseas. And the minute you said it to me, we were on the phone, I was like, dude, I remember sitting up in the patrol car talking about just that very thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have really talked yourself into the fame and the spotlight that you're in now. To first of all, what did you feel when they called you up talking about get your passport ready, and then to be over there and be known? I remember seeing a picture on the big monitor,
yeah.
looking like Godzilla's cousin. Bruh, what was that like?
Well, to receive the call is obviously, it's one of the best feelings in the world, man. To know that a vision is actually, that your fruits of labor are actually coming to a realization. It's a huge deal, because you sacrifice so much for this, and you put so much work into it, and you have a vision. But it's like, where that saying goes, it's like, how many no's did you get until you got that yes?
Mm-hmm.
And it's to actually live that life and to experience that. That journey alone, man, can really, it can really deter you from what you want to do. So many no's. It's, you just need that one yes. You just need that one opportunity, that one call. And I remember when I received that and got the opportunity to go over there, I was ecstatic. I was so happy that, again, my wife, actually, and my family, you were there. We threw a huge party, because it was a big deal for me, because again, I did speak it into existence. I did want this so bad, And you know, they threw a party for me. We had a great time, and you know, I went over there, and to actually be over there in Japan, it was huge because, again, when I started this, those were the guys that I would study. That was a huge goal for me, was to actually wrestle in Japan, because in this business, that's where the best go, man. That's where wrestling is wrestling. It is life over there, and to be able to get that opportunity to go wrestle for them was huge. And being over there, I mean, that culture, that experience, the way they treat wrestling, the way the wrestlers get treated, it's almost like you're living a dream, man, when you're over there. It's like, is this shit real? Is this really happening? You know, and you're meeting other people from different countries and different, you know, and they're saying your name, and you're realizing, like, damn, you know, like, I'm known. Like, it's humbling, man, and it's really cool. And that experience, it never gets old, man. So yeah, it was dope.
You had gone over there, and they didn't just have you wrestle some regular dude. You got to wrestle one of the greatest of the greats over there.
Yeah.
I know you were honored and humbled by that, but I wasn't there to see it. I can't describe it, so I'm asking you. When you find out that you were wrestling that great man over there, what was going through your mind?
It's one of those things, again, where it's just like, it's just fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, I remember watching you and studying you and just watching you on TV as a kid, or, you know, getting those kind of things, you know, out. And again, going back to where we're sharing the locker room, you know, damn, I'm about to be in front of a crowd wrestling a guy that I truly admired, a guy that I truly studied.
In front of thousands.
Yeah, and it was really cool, man. And to get what's even outside of doing it in front of thousands of people or doing it in Japan is to get the respect from him, get the respect from your now peer. Like, that is huge in our business, because when you get that from someone of that caliber, it's and the wrestler I was speaking about was Jun Akiyama. When he gives you that respect and he acknowledges you as a peer, it means everything, man. You know, it's like, you know, if you're a receiver and Jerry Rice shakes your hand and says, yeah, you belong here. You know, that's like, okay. Yeah.
I'm a believer now.
Yeah, I'm the shit. No. But yeah, those moments, those are the ones you cherish, man, because then again, you know, everything just goes through your mind 1,000 miles an hour. Like, damn, you know, everything I'm doing is worth it. You know, all the sacrifices, all the pain, all the hurts, all the injuries, all the times away from it. You know, it's just, those are the moments where it's like, because they know, you know, and that's the thing about our business is when you stand across the ring from a guy of that caliber, he's been doing it longer. He's probably sacrificed a shit more than me, you know, but he understands the life. He understands the grind. So to get that respect from someone like that, that's paved the way for someone like me, and again, going back to the relationships I've built, he's not the only one, man. I have so many people that I'm extremely grateful for in this business that have done the same for me, you know, so.
Okay, so you've gone over and crushed Japan like Godzilla in a movie. You were over there for about a month, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, about 2 months, 7 weeks, I think it was.
So you go over there and destroy Japan, you fly back, and you have to face the reality again.
Yeah.
And you get some calls to do some wrestling. Was there, like, feelings of, were you back in that feeling of like, why am I doing this again? Because to be on that platform over there in front of thousands of people, to be respected by peers who you studied for years, to come back to
reality.
reality, like, it didn't, you didn't get that feeling again for a while to come back and do the smaller shows. I know you still took it serious,
Yeah.
but it had to be hard on you mentally to get prepared to, okay, I'll come and do it.
Well, that's the grind, right? That's being able to go through the what we call peaks and valleys of what you're trying, of the journey of life. You know, it's peaks and valleys to the shit, man. And being able to stay focused and for me, it's always been staying focused, but the whole time staying humble, because there's gonna be, times where you're in front of thousands of people and doing those things. And as you know, you've been to the shows where when I first started, where there's your flea markets, you're fucking in halls and
Literally.
8 people, no AC, and just, shit like that. But it's all part of the journey, man. And that's where you start to learn how to love the process more than the destination, if that makes sense, because you know where you're going to go and you know what you want to do with your life and you know where you want to be. But the moments to get there,
Enjoy the journey.
have so much value, but there's so much substance to that value because of what you've experienced being here in front of thousands and then taken away, jumping in a security truck, fucking working 10, 12 hours a day, and then now go do this shit again. And then you got family, then you got life, and then you got, all these things that just keep you true, man. They keep you humble, and it can really weigh on you if you let it. But it's one of those things again where I've always told you, and I always tell everyone, and it's through our conversations we've had, is just staying humble and just driven, and just try to stay positive, man. And it is so much easier said than done. But
Facts.
But when you are that and you view it that way, it's easier in a way, because you know what you've been through. You've been in the game a little bit. You've been in the game long enough to understand that these are the peaks and valleys of what we have to go through. And this is a process, you know what I mean? And this process is gonna hold so much more substance and value when you get there because of everything you've been through. You weren't just given it. You weren't just handed it. You actually had to put the footprints in. And you went through the trenches to get to where you gotta get to. So when you're on top and you're making money and you're at a financially stable place, no one's gonna take you off that, man, because you worked your ass off to get there. And I think that's where, like, all the little things that we go back to, that what we've been talking about, is spending the time with the fans and doing the little things have so much more of an impact on you when you do those things, such as life, you know what I mean? Like, well, we can even tap, into relationships, it's just the little things that you do are actually have such a big outcome because you took the time to do the little shit, man. So.
Right. Now, how did it feel to be able to get to the level of being able to turn down matches? Because there was sometimes when you would get that phone call and they would offer you like a Big Mac and a small fry to come out and wrestle, and you like, no thank you. At this time I feel that I'm busy. You hang up the phone like, this motherfucker must be crazy.
It's again, taking it back and reeling it back and thinking about what it took for you to be able to now do that. Now you're at that platform where I think I'd rather sit home with the fam than go risk an injury that's going to take me away from being able to perform here, and it's nothing personal. It's business, man. And it's the way things are, I'm not gonna do something to risk a bigger opportunity for me. You know what I mean? It has to make sense. It has to make sense now. I'm not 25. I have a family. I'm a husband. I'm a father, and it has to make sense.
The ground hurts.
Yeah, it has to make sense for me now. And I only do things that make sense. I'm not going to jump off a balcony anymore. You know what I mean? Well, I might, but you know.
Yeah, you probably will get all of your emotions with this shit. But now to be able to choose your path, it worked for you because I remember when they started calling you to get on the shows, they had their own like TV spots. And you were constantly training the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the MMA, and the diet. I remember seeing some of the shit you would eat. Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
Sometimes he would eat so much bullshit. I'm like, dude, stop eating. You're making my stomach hurt. I remember the night we went to Chipotle. And that was when Chipotle really was putting food in their product. Not the bullshit they do now, but it was burritos literally this big. And he ordered 4 of them. I was behind the person who was behind him. He got his food, went and sat down, inhaled the burrito. I'm getting my burrito made. As we're walking out of Chipotle, he's eating the second burrito. Before we get into the car, he's opening up the third burrito. I haven't even opened my bag yet. We finally get it was a little spot where we could go inside and sit. We get there, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm finna eat. We get inside, he sits down, he gets on the phone, and he's promoting himself. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna finish eating?
I'm
done. I was like, what the hell? When I tell you, them burritos was bigger than my arm. And that was just a normal day.
Yeah.
The night that his cheat days.
Oh yeah, man. Still like that now?
The cheat days started out in the morning, which I thought my life was going to be taken that morning. He bought 2 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yes, sir.
And I had the audacity of thinking that I was going to get one of them.
Yeah, nah, bro.
He's like, hey, and was serious. I had to go back to the drive-thru and get my own donut. He ate 2 dozen donuts. He brought his lunch, so he ate that. On top of a jar of peanut butter.
Gotta have that.
King size with the spoon. Eating all day long. It's around 11-ish.
Mm-hmm.
It's now lunch for us. We pull over to Little Caesars. He orders the thick crust, the 8 pieces, and 2 large pepperoni pizzas. I was honored that he gave me a piece. And he killed everything else.
Want to be big, you gotta eat big, bro.
Okay, but damn, bruh. Again, we back in this jar.
What's up? Your cholesterol.
We eating this peanut butter like it's going out of style. And for whatever reason, we had to pick up 2 more team members of the security team, Josh D.
Uh-huh.
And D said, I want to go to McDonald's.
Let's go.
We pull into McDonald's. We unfold out this little bitty ass Jeep. We go in there. We place our orders. This man, at the time they had a deal for what, 50 nuggets?
40.
40 nuggets. He ordered 40 nuggets, 6 McChickens, 6 McDoubles, 6 large fries, and had the nerve to say, I want a Diet Coke.
Yeah, man.
We sat there and watched him inhale all of that. We were like, there's no fucking way he's finishing this. Yes, there was.
Yeah.
But there was 2 sandwiches left. 2 big chicken sandwiches. We were like, didn't finish. Cool. As we're walking to the car, he inhales one. We get in the car. Now, when we get in the car, we look over his shoulder like, dude, you finished that last sandwich? Yeah. God damn. The boy can eat wholly off of the cross. You still eat like that?
Oh yeah, man. It's it's like my cheat days or cheat meals or whatever, they turn into a cheat day. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a family affair, man. You know, we all have fun with it, but yeah, I still eat like that.
And what would kill me
What is it? My grocery bill is like our mortgage, so.
Pretty much. I know your mom was glad when you finally get the fuck out. God.
Right.
But what kills me is the next day he would show up with this Tupperware, this big ass Tupperware bowl of ground turkey and a full bottle of sriracha.
Yeah.
He would eat that all day long. And I would sit there and look at him and he would just look so pitiful. Like, I can't believe I'm eating this shit. But he stuck to it, and as soon as it was over, went to the gym, hit that shit hard, was back doing jujitsu, and that was his rotation. But
That was the routine, man.
to sit up and see this man eat that much food, the food he was eating some days could feed a small village someplace. It was crazy.
I remember you saying that too.
Bruh, this shit was so crazy to see you eat all that McDonald's shit that damn day. Oh my God. But still with that same mentality, that same workout. Like, you affect people with that. Because I ain't gonna lie, seeing you go to the gym and all that shit, I'm like, yeah, fuck.
Let me get in there.
Let me get in the gym. He ain't gonna just have me out here looking bad. Got in the gym one time and kept working and got up to it. It was cool. Like, what you do affects people, whether you try to or not. Because even at the time I was on my little diet, I couldn't just do the ground turkey and sriracha sauce. But, you know, I cut back on a lot of shit. But our weaknesses was them goddamn monsters coming up out of the Chevron gas station energy drinks. 12 hours on your feet. You were tired.
Man.
We had to work the night before doing nightclub work or out wrestling someplace or a DJ gig someplace, and we had to be back at that motherfucking 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, half dead, dealing with some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
Bruh, to look back at some of the days we did at Regional Transit, I sit up and laugh about it all the damn time. Remember the day that the dude with the hammer
Oh, bruh.
that motherfucker wanted to kill us with that hammer. And he was so lucky that the sheriff showed up when they did.
I remember that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we were gonna bury that dude.
That's just one of them.
One of them.
Man.
Oh, I talked about this the other day. People were talking, cause see now the light rail is flooding. Let's take the light rail to the Kings game.
Shit.
If y'all knew how nasty them goddamn trains were,
Man.
the day that we had agencies go code 3 to the Meadowview light rail station because it was the first time we said
Fuck it.
we need a response to Meadowview because we were fighting
Everybody.
everybody. We won. God was with us that day.
Yeah.
And everybody, I mean Elk Grove PD, Rancho Cordova PD, Light Rail PD, SAC PD, we had SAC Sheriff, we had Highway Patrol. Everybody pulled into this damn station. We were like, what the fuck is all of this? Why are all y'all here? And they literally said, you guys never call for response. We thought it was Armageddon down here. And that's when we was like, oh, well, it's time for us to get off here. We're going to this train. Get out of here.
Time to go eat.
That week, man, that was some of the craziest days.
But that's just like we keep talking about, man. It's those are the things where you look back and we're doing all right, man.
We've come a long way.
We're doing all right. We've actually that's one of the things that I really praise not only about myself, but anybody that really speaks or tries to drop jewels to you and give you knowledge to the game and stuff like, did you actually live and do the shit you talk about? Or did you, and for us, we did that, bro. We we put those footprints in the trenches, you know what I mean? We came from that. And to be able to speak on that and look where life has taken us now, it's humbling, man, to know that we lived, we lived through all that shit, we didn't just become a statistic, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things I had a conversation with the other day with one of my really good friends. It's for minorities and guys like us, in the areas that we came from, the hoods that we grew up in, the circumstances we had to overcome, more than likely we would become that statistic. We would end up in prison somewhere, dead. Again, when we look back at things that we've done, and we smile, we laugh. It's really cool to see what a choice and what a purpose is that you choose to chase can really change your life, man. And again, go back to what you said, have an effect on other people. That was one of the biggest things for me when I chose to do this, was to be an inspiration, to have someone look at me and say, damn, if you did it, I can do it. Or, I want to be like you one day. And that's what you said about me and the kids. Like, man, when I meet these kids, it's more of a joy and a trip and an experience for me than it is for them to meet me. Because it's like, man, I put my pants on the same way you do, bruh. Right. You know what I mean? Like, right. I just decided to make a choice, and I wrote it out, and I'm still writing it out. So to hear them say, wow, Kratos, it's a pleasure. I'm like, nah, man, it's a pleasure to meet you. So
you always said that too.
It's really cool, man. And it just all comes from, it's one of the things that I really do on my spare time is, personal development. And it's just one of those things that Denzel Washington always said, it's make a choice, man. It just make that decision and stick by it. What you will learn along the way is incredible. And I always go back to saying it too, just make the decision and go, because you're gonna figure it out along the way. You can't figure out how to drive a car in a parked car. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Turn the key, put it in drive, and just hit the fucking gas, man. Just go. You'll figure it out as you go. And the people you'll meet along the way, they're gonna help you. And that's just one of the things I say is just I don't know, make a choice, man. Make the decision. It's a hell of a ride.
Now we got a little deep there.
Yeah, right.
So let's go ahead and bring it back to a higher level. Remember when you got the call, WWE came to Sacramento, and they called you, and I do believe Brian, to be in a skit with The Rock.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, who was the king of the WWE at that time.
Yeah, he's the man.
You couldn't deny it. He was the reason that it was on television. He was the reason why all the fans were everywhere in the world watching it. He was the man. He wasn't expecting a guy like Kratos to show up to be in this skit. And he actually refused to stand next to you.
Uh-huh.
Please. Please tell this story.
Well, it's funny too, because we got the call, right? We got the opportunity to be an extra, is what it's called. It's kind of like a tryout they do, but more importantly, you're just there for your tryout, but to fill in if needed, right? And your hopes are to get a match on TV, right? But they also have other things too. So one of these things were we were going to be cops that were going to stop, The Rock from getting into the arena. That was the story. So they come grab us in catering.
Again, eating.
Yes. We had no idea what we're doing. We have no idea anything, right? But they come, you're like, yeah, man, I'm about to be, hell yeah, dude. So they come get us. They're like, hey, you know, they're handing us these uniforms. We're cops. And we're like, what the? So we're getting dressed. And they're like, hey, this is what's going to happen. You're going to do this. And they're not telling us who it's with, right? And again, dude, I'm extremely young in the business at this point. I think I'm like 2-3 years in. And I'm getting dressed. They're rushing us to the area of where we're going to go. And the producer's standing next to me, and I can hear him in his headphone. And he's like, okay, yeah, we're over here on this part. Send the Rock over. And I'm like, I remember looking at the guys I'm with. I'm like, shit, are we about to do a skit with the Rock, bruh? And we're just like trying to hold it all in, act like you've been here before, right? So I'm like inside, I'm like,
here we cool.
Yeah.
Back of the head.
I'm like, holy shit, dude, did I really hear that right? And so we're standing there, you know, they're getting us all ready, and then I look over, and here comes the Rock. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, god damn, this is again pretty fucking cool, right? Rock comes, he's like, looks at me, looks at, you know, the other guys, and he's like, how you doing, big dog? And I was like, holy shit. I was like, hey, how you doing? You know, blah, blah, blah. So we're going, and there's 3 of us. I have to stand in the middle and get my body cut off. It's TV, right? I can't look bigger than The Rock. Not that I am, I'm just saying. So they had to cut off my body. And then he stood in a way where the camera angle makes him look fucking huge. You can see it on YouTube. I mean, dude looks humongous. Power of TV. But so not only are we doing a segment with The Rock, which is cool, they ask him, they're like, hey, do you want to do this recorded or do you want to go live? And we're like, and he's like, I remember, chugs a fucking Red Line, the energy drink, and he's like, fuck it, let's go live. And I was like, holy shit, dude, we're about to be on TV with the fucking Rock. This is dope. And yeah, so it was a segment with Vicky Guerrero and him. They had a storyline going, and Vicky obviously hired us to help her not let The Rock in. So it was like a little mini backstage skit that we got to do. But again, it's like, you know, one of those moments where it's like, fuck, man, you know, if I didn't make this decision to chase this, I would have never been able to have this opportunity. And those are one of the things where it's like, that was pretty cool, man.
Really?
Yeah.
So you gonna let all this humbleness speak for you right now? Because what he's failing to say here is, The Rock didn't want to stand next to him because he didn't want to seem tiny. So he told the producer, hey, have him move over there. Don't put me next to that monster.
Yeah, that part.
That is crazy. We're now in the present, Kratos. You done gone through the situation where you've had to fight for your name.
Yeah.
Through the video game situation. I remember that. I remember that phone call. Like, what?
That was crazy.
Damn. Then it was your music intro. We had to change that. It's all kind of shit. Like the music game has got you're sampling. You got to get your permission. Names and intro music and things like that is the same over in wrestling.
It's all TV.
You even had your own personal person. I remember the personal person at the time who was making your uniforms.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can call it uniform.
Yeah. Gear.
Gear, that's a good word. We would call it draws, but he calls it gear. I remember you getting your boots in and being excited and all that shit. Like, I remember all that. So now that has pushed you up to today. Today you fly everywhere. Down south, up north, out east, overseas, West Coast, down in LA. You're doing whole weekend matches, having to rush back to get to the 9 to 5 because, you know, we don't don't sit on our asses. We hustle, we grind all the time.
Yeah.
To sit back now and see where you are compared to when you were dreaming about that. Do you ever sit back and just in silence be in your head like, wow, this is really my blessing. This is really what I used to dream about and talk about. And
Yeah, that was one of the things that I decided to do actually this year. You make your New Year resolutions and you do your things, but actually my wife was one of the ones that really brought it, that made it come to light for me, was to stop, just be able to stop and enjoy moments, enjoy the fruits of labor. And that was a big thing for me to do because, again, as you know, you become so almost tunneled. You have a vision, and almost selfishly, everything else just kind of falls to the side because you are so focused and you're so tunneled that this is it, like work, training, everything, and you have a goal because you become so goal orientated that almost everything kind of falls to the wayside.
right.
Not that you want it to because that's your why, but again, you're just so here. And one of the things that I really focus on now is to be able to stop and enjoy the moments. So like when in my downtime, when I'm home, I like to, going out and doing all that shit, man, it's like, it's just, it ain't for me no more, man. I really just enjoy being with my family, going to dinner, going to do things that we are able to create memories because of the lifestyle. It's very taxing, you know what I mean? It's very busy, and now that we have, my boys doing baseball, Giselle, my little one, is a fucking rock star energy drink 24/7. My wife is busy. She's playing soccer now, which is, yeah, bro, you need to come watch a game. Get your ass out there.
Well, now it's on me. Got it.
But there's so many elements to our life, and it all just comes down to just enjoy it, and those moments are really special, and it's almost like a recharge, man. You take a vacation with the family, you do your thing, and then now you come back to your grind, and it's almost like you feel refreshed. Your why is almost recharged. It's like, that's why I'm doing this. Is you're just getting fed again, and that's one of the things where I really am really trying to focus on. I'm guilty of not doing it as much as I should, and that's one of the things I want to really start doing now.
Okay, so we gonna talk about the person who's whooping your ass over this now. How important is it? Because I remember the meeting and the getting together and dealing with the issue of the walking miracle over here. You found the right one.
I did.
How important is it to you to know that you found the right one, and we both been through the bullshit. You love sis to death. You fully have put trust into what she says. Because for you to say this year alone, you want to, enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And then spend the time with the family situation. It took a lot for you to trust that. What did you see in sis to know that, thank you, God, you sent me the one that forevermore, this is it. Because we've
Been through it, bro.
Been through it.
For me,
you have been through it, but you fully trust and love and treasure and cherish, like you found that one, like what is that feeling like? Because from beginning to end, I saw it grow.
For me, she keeps me true. She keeps me grounded, and
Yeah, because you're a thug.
yeah, right. I guess now that I've experienced the things and I'm able to differentiate my entertainment life versus husband, father, that kind of life. She can really give two shits who Kratos is, because JR still has to take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? JR still has to do this for the home. JR still needs to get up and change the fucking air filter in the house. JR still needs to, you know what I'm saying? Although she supports that and what I do and is 100% there for me, I think what I can really cherish is that she loves me and cares for who I am versus what I am. And being gone through what I've gone through, that is huge for someone to be able to know and love JR and care for Kratos, but knows JR before and loves that. And just to be honest, man, she's stuck. You know, my life is not easy, bro. My schedule is not easy. I'm not easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, just before coming here, bro, I fucking flipped because I couldn't find my shorts that I wanted to wear. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't find my damn shorts. And I'm over here flipping a fucking lid, losing my shit, and she's calmly looking for my shorts. And obviously she found them, I didn't. But you know, it's just shit like that, man. You know, it's she balances me, and she keeps me true. That's
Now, here's where we embarrass your ass a little bit.
I just embarrassed myself.
No, it gets worse. It's not embarrassing. You know, when we were young, you know, we grew up in the era where men had to be men. There was no emotions. There was no feelings. You had to be that dog.
Yeah.
You got married in Tahoe. And one of the stories you told during your vows was you were at a wrestling match. And one of your mentors, peers, you had told him that you were thinking about popping the question, I think it was. And he asked you a question. Can you tell us a little bit about that story? Because that story in itself is probably the most amazing story I've ever heard you tell.
Right on, man. So, not just in wrestling, in entertainment, you know that it is extremely difficult to maintain any kind of relationship
So difficult.
in this thing that we call entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it may be, because of the lifestyle alone, not just everything else that's, you know, women, drug, not all that shit, parties. It's the schedule, the commitment to the grind. It is very, very difficult. And it is very, very difficult for someone to understand it that's not in it.
Right.
To be able to say or be committed to someone that does what I do, or, you know, just whatever. So when this specific wrestler came up to me and asked me, this man has been married over 20 years, has been able to maintain his marriage and stay within his marriage and have kids and do this for over 25 plus years. So, like I said in my vows, and it was a huge, huge moment for me, is when he came to me and asked me, "Hey, I heard you get married." And he asked me, he said, take away the fact that she's the mother of your kid. Take away the fact that you love her. Take away the fact that she's absolutely beautiful. Why are you going to marry this woman? And he's all, think about it. I'll be back in about a half hour or so. And he comes back. And he's like, all right, kid. He's like, so do you have a reason? Is there a reason why you want to marry her? I was like, no, I don't have anything but just the fact that I need her. And he looked at me and smiled, and he was like, you're ready. And I was like, and he tapped me on my shoulder and walked away. And it was just, you take away all that, man. You know what I mean? You take away the fact that she's the mother of my kids, that I think she's absolutely beautiful, whatever, all those things. And she is a part of me and I need her. So that's how you bro. And that's what I'm saying is when you're grinding and you're on the road and all these things are coming your way and whatever comes, it doesn't matter, because that at home loves who you are, not what you are. And all this other bullshit is for the moment, and it's for what? It's for what you are. It's not who you are. You think all this other shit, someone would fucking put up with me yelling, where the fuck are my shorts at? Where the fuck is my chicken? Where the hell's the peanut butter? Where's this shit? Man, get the fuck out of here, And she tells me that too, but she's there. She don't leave. She cusses at me, but stays. but yeah.
Let me go ahead and I got you on this, bro. Sis can be a little crazy.
Fuck, man.
Now, I know sis can be sometimes nuttier than squirrel shit. But in Tahoe, during this event that will always be in my memory as one of the greatest memories I've ever had, she put a new twist to Bridezilla. I remember the night I got there, we had to do the little walkthrough situation, and she said she had to be up early. And looked at all of us. Now, sis ain't the biggest thing on the planet. She hit me right about here. Looked me in my eye and told me, take your ass to your room and go to sleep, because you got to get up early. Now, everybody else my size. And she punking all of us. And we looked at JR, and JR was like,
Get
your ass to the room. I was like, the fuck is going on here? But she was one of the most beautiful brides I've ever seen. At the end, she was on her gangster shit. Because when that shuttle wasn't showing up,
oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought I was going to pull her off the driver, but she did her thing. She was great, but she really rocks with you.
Yeah.
So shout out, sis. We love you to death. Now, we done talked about how you done started, you dreamed, you wanted to improve, you'd have been here and there and everywhere, around the world and diddy. Wrestling is going to open up a door when you decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna hang up my glitter drawers and my capes and my shoes, and when it opens up that door, what is it that you see Kratos taking on next?
Well, right now, to dip into the crazy, it's opened the door for me to get into bare knuckle fighting. So for me,
which pause you talked about
yeah,
years ago.
Yeah.
Play.
I just now's a better time than ever, right?
No.
There's
Okay.
I bring a certain platform to the company that we're in talks with, and the way I want to see it is to be able to scratch both backs. But anyway, for right now, that's just one of the things that I want to challenge myself with is to start doing that. And obviously I'm never gonna steer away from wrestling, but for right now, that's one of the new challenges I have for me, is to do that. And then for me, right now, as far as where I want to go is just be the best version of myself, man. I could be, as far as a wrestler, entertainer. This sport has been extremely giving to me. I was able to do a ton of cool shit, star in shows that I've never even thought I could be, do things on Netflix, meet the people I've been able to do. It's opened a lot of different things for me, meeting people and being able to network outside of wrestling and have other doors of opportunity when I choose to do that. And it's just really cool, man. And again, that's where I wanted to be and be a testimony to people that you just make a decision, man, and you really stick by it. No matter who the fuck says anything, man, just keep fucking going and keep believing in yourself, because trust me when I tell you that more people are gonna turn and tell you don't do it, and you're gonna get so many no's before you get that yes. And once you get that yes, it's gonna be all worth it, because you're not only gonna be able to change other people's lives, but you're gonna be able to change yours. And that's the best feeling in the fucking world, man. And it's all because of your hard work and the choice that you made. And for me, that's it, man. I really don't have an end, like this is where I want to be. It's just I want to become the best version of myself in this wrestling sport, be the biggest household name I can be, and just ride that shit, man. It's a great feeling. I'm in a very, very good position right now, and I'm just extremely grateful, man. I'm just excited to see where it goes, and we'll see.
Now,
stay tuned.
We all know that Kratos love kids. Are we looking at some kind of events, or we gonna be like Ronald McDonald, open up the Kratos house for these kids, for these young adults? And right about now, everybody's graduating, going junior high school, graduating high school, graduating college. When you talk to the younger eras, what message do you want? Now, I know you just said what you said, but we're going to take it to another. We're going to get you off the cheat code. What if they were to look in your eyes and say, what's the answer to all of this? We've put in the work. We've studied. We've worked. We've stayed up late. We've sacrificed. Never give up is yours. It's always been yours. But to look at a cat in the era we're in now who's going on to the next step, and they're looking at you, what do you want them to take from your journey? You already said to keep pushing, so don't use a cheat code. Let's come up with something different. What do you tell a young graduate?
Just to really, truly believe in yourself, and really know that, and really look within yourself, man, and find out what you really want to do. And once you figure that out, like I said, you can't figure out how to drive a car in a parked car. You make a decision and you go, and you believe in it, and you hold it, and you just fucking go, man. You believe in who you are, because like I said before, there's gonna be a ton of people that are gonna have their opinions about your journey. But if you believe in who you are and you believe in your purpose, you can have, what is the Scarface? You can have the world, Chico. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the truth. the truth is, believe in who you are. And fuck what anybody has to say.
Nice. Now, we have some news for y'all. The man has been around the world in I. He's internationally known, nationally known. He's wrestled north-south, east-west. It's been a long time since we've seen this man this close to home. I can't even remember the last time you were even close to the area code wrestling.
Yeah.
Please, get information about tomorrow night.
So, like he said, again, the journey's been great. I have not wrestled close to Sacramento in a long, long time. And tomorrow night, I'll be wrestling at the Stockton Civic Center for Pro Wrestling Revolution, which is ran by Gabriel Ramirez. It's a lucha company. So the character I portray is is the Border Patrol. So if you want to see me throw around some Mexicans, come to Stockton and check it out, man. And yeah, it's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Stockton Civic Center. Pro Wrestling Revolution. It's Lucha Libre. Man, they're bringing in huge stars from Mexico. I'll be taking on L.A. Park La Parca. He's like the fucking Hulk Hogan of Mexico, bro. Like, he is insanely popular in the Lucha Libre world, and he's wild as hell. So it's gonna be a hell of a show. I'm glad it's a 3-day weekend because I'm gonna need it. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Pro Wrestling Revolution tomorrow night, Stockton Civic Center. It's an opportunity for a lot of the people that have supported me to be able to come out and see me live, and it's been a long time. So I'm excited. We should have a really good turnout. I've been receiving a ton of messages, so thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate it, truly. And I look forward to seeing everybody out there, man. It's like I said, I haven't been around the 916 in a long time, so it's gonna be cool, man. Stockton.
If y'all really want to treat, now, you sit up here and you've heard me say the man has been Godzilla in Japan. I've seen this man throw grown-ass men across the ring. Like, balled up bags. Like, it's crazy. If you really want to treat yourself, go see this man do this shit live. Everything he says he did for this, you will see it in that event.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy that you even close to home wrestling. I can't remember the last time you was even out here, bro. It's crazy. But if you want to get a hold of Mr. Kratos, the man,
Text, don't call. No, I'm just playing.
all bullshit to the side, I've seen this man stand over to the side of the road and talk to somebody out of the goodness of his heart. If you want to talk to him about something serious, you want to give him his flowers now, you want to let him know how you support him, please let the people know how they can get in touch with you, sir.
Social media platforms. It's at JR Kratos or at JR_Kratos. I try to do my best and reach out to everyone that I can. I think I do a really good job. So shoot me a DM, shoot me a like, shoot me a follow, hit me up. I do my best, like I said, to try to compensate people and do what I can for people and communicate with people and support them as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm a huge advocate for supporting the ones that are just getting started. So you support celebrities that you don't even know. So support the ones next to you and give them a follow and a share and do all that. So hit me up.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell my brother from another mother, thank you.
Love you, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Come out here
Yes,
and
sir.
finally get your ass on this. Y'all don't even understand what this shit took. But
Take a Chipotle bowl. He lying.
hey, Chipotle, the motherfucker ate 4 burritos the size of the bowl itself. Jesus. But make sure you follow him, like his posts. Sacramento, one of your own. Support this man. If you support him like you support the cats, across the water or in different states,
Right.
Sacramento, we be on. Make sure you follow us here at Hype Radio. Hype Radio is real as the gram. I'm your man Shadow. This is Hype Dash Radio, and we have Mr. Kratos this evening.
Yes, sir.
Shining in the spotlight. We gonna get up out of here because this was long as hell.
I'm hungry too.
Ain't no restaurant even around here able to handle that kind of work. But
There's
y'all be
canes down the
safe.
street.
Make sure I've never eaten the canes.
Neither have I. And my boy we was on the way up here. He was talking about it, so we might have to hit that.
It's Memorial Day weekend. Please
Be
be
safe.
safe. Cops is out. They trying to get you. They trying. Don't let them win.
Right.
But y'all be safe. Make sure you follow us on the gram. And we out.
Thank you, guys.